Folks, welcome back, and what's going on? HeirofCarthage here, or I should say HeirofCathay. We are back with our Grand Cathay campaign, where we are playing as Miao Ying, the Storm Dragon, and we have Pomade surrounded. Not to be confused with Pomade, which of course would make her hair looks extra styled, but you know, we'll take what we can get here. Recruitment cost, control in the province, I guess fervent maybe, I'll put 1 point in there. We're really just trying to make our way over to those other blue skills that I like to get first, mainly to drop the cost of my army, so that's why I'm moving in that direction in terms of skill points, in case you're wondering what it is I'm aiming for with Miao Ying. Now, of course, you can feel free to unlock her magic at first if you feel like that getting strength in battle is more important to you. I am moving towards one that is going to give me more economic power, and as we have said in many of these videos, that money is the sinew of war. So that is exactly what I'm working on, which is basically getting unlimited money so that we can win any war. So let's end our turn here. Begin the siege of Pomay. It is a walled settlement. Fighting it right now would not be good, because remember, depending on legendary, and that means very hard battle difficulty, because that's the highest battle difficulty. And the AI is going to get substantial leadership buffs and melee defense buffs, which means you do not want to fight in melee where you can avoid it. So this is a much better situation where their garrison is forced to come out to me on an open grassland where they can be bombarded by my sky junk, where they don't have towers, where my archers and crossbowmen can malign and destroy them. So I'm very much looking forward to this. I'll see you all on the battlefield. Alright folks, I'm ready to begin the battle. We've been given a bit of a blessing here in the way that this deployment works. All of the enemy reinforcements will be coming from behind me through a massive choke point. Not a great situation for me in terms of, you know, just terrain here, but if I move up, I mean, we can really trap the AI up in here, and I do believe that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to move up in here. It will give myself an easier position to defend, allow me to trap the AI in a hopelessly bad position. So let's begin our run up here. We only have 2 minutes before the enemy reinforcements arrive. We're going to be a little bit vulnerable to magic when we do this, because we're going to be bunched up, so this could end up backfiring on me big time if the AI manages to use its magic effectively. However, I have magic too, and I also have a giant dragon. So that's got to count for something. I'm going to let my rockets do some work. Oh my gosh, work they did. Absolutely and utterly annihilated that unit of peasant long spears. Let's shoot for some of their archers, because those are actually the more dangerous units to us. We will need to back off before their archers potentially get close enough to shoot, though, and remember that our balloon is very slow. So I am going to start moving back now at this point. We've gotten some very nice damage, 37 kills, and it looks like our guns will fire a little while we're on the way out. That's a juicy looking blob right there, too. I'm gonna turn around and give them one right there, because they're a little bit bunched up, and if I can land a hit there, that'll be pretty juicy. Okay, the enemy is 48 seconds away from... Oh, did we score a hit? We did. We got some very nice kills off of it. Good. All right, well, I'm gonna just turn and kind of flee away with the balloon. I'm gonna spread these swordsmen out as wide as I can here. My archers are in range nearly to the edge of the map. Let's scoot them up just a little more. We're going to pull up into kind of a double line here. And I'll actually probably bring one more of these up here. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and change into dragon form to get ready to fight these enemies. And I want to have my Searing Doom ready to drop right up here too, because we should be able to cause some big damage. Alright, here comes the enemy reinforcements. They should be under missile fire near immediately. We'll want to focus our own missiles on theirs. And in the melee, we'll just hold for now. And then we'll let our magic do its thing. Alright, so let's bring Miao Ying in behind here for the terror factor. And let's get our bombardment ready. I'm going to do an overcast Searing Doom, and it should be Searing Doom indeed. And then right when that Searing Doom drops, I'm going to buff up Miao Ying and then dive in and hopefully go for a big terror route here. We've got reinforcements I'm going to throw into this fight.
My elixirs are
And then I'm going to Plague of Rust here. What's going on the other side of my formation? Not much, not much. Should be good. Remember, we just got a hold over here, and that other force was very far away, so feeling pretty safe. We're causing big damage to the enemy archer line, though I am going to pull out of this melee. I'm going to go for the enemy archer line. Searing Doom is up for round 2, and I can overcast it, and I'm going to do so on their archers, because the melee is going to be a long time coming. I am going to turn off formation attack, by the way, because that's probably not doing me any favors. Oh, that was a beautiful Searing Doom. Our alchemist is pulling her weight and then some. I'm going to back her up just a little bit. We're struggling with a little bit of overlap here, which is preventing effective fire. Oh yeah, we're doing well. We are doing quite well. Now our balloon can fire at the oncoming forces here. We're going to pick these peasant archers. They're not going to cause a ton of damage to me, but it's enough to be concerned. Yeah, and their archer line is being demolished, which means that ultimately they're going to give way. I'm going to bring Miao Ying over here. I'm going to use this magic missile on their leader and then dive down into melee. I'm going to take my own archers against theirs. If Miao Ying can get back up in the air, that'd be great. She's waiting takeoff time. Maybe right here. I don't know. Hopefully this breath doesn't catch too many of my own units. It might. I used that magic missile and it's not coming off the rail. It's not working. So let's just get Miao Ying and dive in against their magistrate here. And this is going exactly how I needed it to here. We're gonna hold and hold easily. Their archers up top are no longer... Ooh, Miao Ying pushed him out of combat, and he got wrecked by my missile line. So this is going to be a absolutely massive victory for us. The enemy army is well and truly screwed at this point. Watch this. We're going to make it far worse. Get you all close up here. It's kind of hard to tell some of these troops apart, but that's going to do it right there. That ought to speed their passing. I'm going to Plague of Rust their Jade Warrior. Ooh, see what I said we'd be weak to magic? We were. I'm after their leader at the moment, though. I'm going to bring this balloon up and kind of get right here behind this fight. See if we can maybe put some rockets into the side of this. Let's bring Miao Ying back down in here. We definitely want to go for that terror route. Alright, their leader on the bottom side of this fight is basically gone. Trying to route off the battlefield now, so we'll allow that to take place. I'm out of magic at the moment. There we go. There's the chain route, folks. Very successful battle for us. Now, not every map is going to give you this really fortuitous positioning to use. When it does, though, take it and win big. So again, if we look at like the efficiency with which we killed here, was over 10-1. So that is an excellent kill efficiency that we got here, especially on this high difficulty. And we can replenish our troops here, which is going to really screw the garrison at Pomei, because now they're going to be utterly hopeless in defending themselves. So that was a fantastic thing. Now, a couple of things I want to say about that. Some people want to say, Air, why'd that AI attack you like that? Well, number one, if they sit there, they're just going to get bled out. Two, the AI should be aggressive. We're on Legendary. They should fight, right? It shouldn't be that, hey, let's sit here and make Air spend, 50 turns sieging our city. That kind of stuff's boring. So I'm glad to see the AI reacting that way more, because it makes the game more interesting for the player. You get battles, which is what Total War is all about. I've said that a bunch, and I'll say it again. Total War is all about the battles. And the more battles, the more better. Yes, I know, more better, but you get what I'm saying, right? The Turtle Gate is open here. That might be a good one for us to garrison as well. So we are now in control of Pomei. We're going to fix that up a little. We're starting to pick up a little more income. I want to use that to replace these peasant archers with crossbowmen, so we'll want to be ready for that back at Nangao. Ultimately, it's going to come out of this building here, where we're going to get the crossbows and halberds. So let's go ahead and take care of these skill points. We can now get Irrepressible, and then that's going to also open us up to our first tick here in Quartermaster, which is going to free up more of our cash. Again, won't be a huge amount, but every little bit's going to add up when it comes to giving us a better army, or more than one army. And by taking the Snake Gate, there's another piece of Cathay mechanic that we can really take some excellent advantage of. And what that is there is a building tree in the gate settlements that basically makes it to where you pay almost no upkeep on an army that's in that gate. And what that allows you to do basically is to have an army at the ready at all times while paying very little for it in return. And it's really just a great deal. So you need to take advantage of it where you get the opportunity. Let's go with this control and then minus the chance of plague spreading. The Dragon Emperor's Wrath is here. We can activate this. Anybody who comes into our territory will now take attrition. Go back to the Wujing Compass and let us point it. Let's point it to the Great Bastion. Or no, let's point it to the Celestial Lake, which will help us with growth. And it gives us extra income from our buildings as well. Alright, we'll end our turn. I believe we're waiting on our caravan to return from its last journey, and then we'll select a new one. First caravan was successful. You definitely want to keep an eye on those caravans as you're playing as Grand Cathay. They're going to make you a lot of extra money on the side. Don't be afraid to play those battles sometimes, because the auto-resolve will screw you over on those battles bad. And so you'll want to play those sometimes, and again, you saw me pick those extra crossbows there, not because Jade Warriors are bad, not because that army couldn't use some Jade Warriors in that one, but because the crossbows actually cause damage. And so that's going to be the big differentiator there. It looks like Pomei was sieged by these last forces. It's saying that we're going to take medium casualties. It wants to kill my Sky Junk. That's utterly ridiculous, so we'll play this real quick and humor them, I guess. Now, speaking of humor, was I the only one that found some humor in something in that auto-resolve screen? Did you all notice the impossibility? It said we were going to take medium casualties, which first and foremost is an interesting idea, because yes, they do have some magic, but I'm going to take casualties to some ragged peasant long spears. Okay, if you insist. Did you notice one of the units that said they were going to kill in the auto-resolve? It said they were going to kill the Sky Junk. So clearly, CA, please, you have a lot of work left to do when it comes to the auto-resolve. It has improved in some ways, and sometimes it actually favors the player, but clearly a lot of work still to be done on the auto-resolve, because that is utterly obnoxious that I would lose a Sky Junk to grounded units with no ranged attack. So, yes, CA, please explain that one. I would love to hear the explanation. Alright, the peasant longbows are going to be mowed down in a hail of arrows that would make the Persians blush. Again, not really sure where the idea was coming from that we were going to suffer any damage. That was never going to happen. We just need to mow down this last infantry unit, and then it's GG's. CA, please. There we go. Peasant long spear is going to rout. And then we just have to shoot their leader here. In fact, I'll strip the armor off their leader here quickly. And I'm going to make sure that this leader dies, because I want their army well and truly finished. There she goes. Alright. Excellent. That's the end of that. Yeah, so we were going to take medium casualties, and somehow medium turned into 0. I mean, they're pretty much the same thing, right? So, sure. Take the extra unit experience there. Yeah. So that happened. Ooh, the Turtle Gate actually just fell under control of Norska. That's not good. We'll want to kick them out of it. However, now that they've taken control of it, if they rebuild it, they will gain a rather significant garrison there, which would be not great for us. So that extra turn that we were caused is not ideal at the moment. Nangao can be upgraded. Let's do so. Let's end this turn. The upgrading of Nangao should allow me to get to some higher tier military units, which will become important. Here comes Clan Eshin, likely declaring war on me. I believe they're off to my south. Maybe down here in these mountains. Alright, so Not surprised that Clan Eshin's declaring war. So we'll need to keep an eye out for the Deathmaster. He'll probably show up against our unguarded settlements. Village the Curseling likely to be declaring war on us, and they are, and their allies are the ones that's in control of that gate. So we'll need to get rid of him as well. Controlling that gate would give us significant power. Although we are sitting on decent money, it really would be handy to have a second army, and a second army of peasants might be... Oh my gosh, they came straight towards me here before I could replenish. That was actually some really frustrating and somewhat top-tier play here. We need to kill these guys and then fall back from Pomei and replenish before more reinforcements come screaming through that gate and catch us in an even worse position here. So we'll need to win this battle. Now, I would kind of be worried here a little bit, except for the fact that I have the rockets. And I've got Miao Ying as well, and a lot of missiles. So as long as we contain their Marauder Horsemaster and Hounds, we'll win this battle. Alright, the battle's getting started. I'm going to take an advantageous defensive position up here at the top of the map. Area corner camping! Yes, I am, because I can. And get mad if you want. Not going to stop me from doing it. So yes, I'm going to take up a position up here in the corner. I'm going to get all my units out of formation attack. I'm going to put all of my missiles into a defensive stance. I am going to let them go wide up front to begin with, and then I'll pull them back into position. I'm going to bring Miao Ying back here with me. I've left my rockets up front to bombard our Zinchling Norscan enemies here. It says I will lose if the time runs out. That's fine. They're going to lose if they sit back and let my rockets pound them from a distance. Now, maybe not. Maybe they won't move. But see how they're reforming here? This is a great opportunity for my rockets. If I can force these reformations by continuing to reform my own units back in the corner, that could become a very good opportunity for me. Alright, the AI is now pushing forward. I think they're realizing that they do not have any type of advantage in terms of range, so they do need to push forward. Their cavalry is rather fast-moving. I'm going to need to pull back within safety my balloon, because their cavalry could overcome it. I do not wish that. Their shields are annoying, because otherwise I would have gotten quite a few more kills here. But it is what it is. Alright, so we've got their attention. They're going to be forced to attack my very strong position here. I'm going to roll some Earth Blood here on my leaders. That should help in terms, like, I know we can't see the power bar, but there still is one. And having as much health as possible is going to be beneficial. Yeah, that Norscan army is definitely on its way. I'm thinking about maybe just backing my missiles up to begin with, because they do not have many. And it might be difficult to fall back while they're charging, and I do want to put just a hair more distance between the enemy forces and my missiles, in case there's a little bit of penetration off of a charge. And then I'm going to use these depleted garrison units as charge blockers. So, hope they are excited to sacrifice themselves, because that's exactly what I'm doing with them. Alright. Now spread out into our full formation. Our balloon is in a full retreat. I don't know if there's a whole lot of point in me stopping and firing with the balloon at this point, because I'm just going to go through shields, and we really honestly just need to get back here to a safer position where it can stay permanently. I can heal the balloon once it gets back here, but for now I'm just going to continue to heal Miao Ying. Like I said, we can make the biggest difference here in the power bar by healing her.
Jade warriors. Understood. Defenders of Cathay.
Just taking up good defensive positions. I want all of these units in defensive stances. Okay, let's bring our balloon over here. We'll begin to heal it. Like I said, the power bar is not visible, but it will be impacted by my single entities picking up more health. It's unfortunately going to leave me with less magic to go after their
Stone and steel.
units with, but
Defenders of Cathay!
it's okay. It is acceptable.
Move as wind!
At least in my mind, it's acceptable. Alright, I'm gonna tilt those units just a hair.
Master of Tempest. Might of
There we go.
Gyra.
Alright, so their hounds are gonna get mowed down first. I'm actually gonna focus fire these Marauder Horsemasters. Hounds are not gonna do any good against my infantry. My infantry are too well armored. Yeah, see, that's a pretty smart move there, throwing their javelins at my archers.
Crossbowman!
Was actually rather intelligent. I'm gonna target this blob. We might get blocked by trees, but I'm gonna try it real quick, see what happens.
Archers!
This is great. We just mowed down a bunch of their horsemasters with minimal losses. We do have these bombs on our balloon as well.
For the Emperor. The
Our magic reserve is quickly being emptied. We did hit the trees, but that was actually a pretty decent shot.
Lines as one.
I'm gonna cease fire though, because we've got the woods in the way at the moment.
Warrior crossbows!
Okay, our sacrificial lines up front are doing their job nicely. They're absorbing some initial volleys. The Marauder Horsemasters and Horsemen are going to be mowed down in a big hurry by my missile troops. And then the enemy infantry is going to be significantly softened as well
For the
by
Emperor.
my missiles. We have some very powerful missiles here. As the enemy leader approaches, I may strip his armor with a Plague of Rust and then assassinate him with my missile crew.
Peasant archers!
I'm going to group my missile crew to prepare for such a plan. He is becoming visible now. We have
Crossbowman!
put an end to the threats
Dragon!
of the Horsemasters on the flanks. I'm going to peel these units back into a slightly better position. The enemy leader is within range. Let us strip 60 armor off of him and give an order to our bows to follow up. And we will see if we can put an end to him in a big hurry. We're now going to transform Miao Ying and get ready to go get involved in a fight. With the magic that we have left, we're going to do some focused bombardments. Ooh, the enemy leader is getting absolutely doused by our missiles. That was well worth it. Searing Doom was pretty effective as well. Enemy leader into combat. We're going to actually come over and focus the enemy leader as well, because I don't believe the enemy's going to break through anywhere else.
Order and balance.
Marauder Horseman over here. Let's give it the focus. The enemy leader is basically dead. A charge from Miao Ying ought to seal the deal here.
Retreat.
He is dead. That should break the morale of the enemy force. And fortunately for us, we were in a position to defeat this army because it did have us in a bit of a pickle. Meaning that we were sieged, we were weak, and just for safety's sake, I am going to fall back a little and risk losing Pome and having to retake it. Not ideal, but I mean, if they were to just rush through those gates with more reinforcements, this is legendary. I will not have another save to fall back on. There won't be any saves coming. We'll ruin our campaign if that's the case, and that is not something that I look forward to. There will be pieces of this army that are going to come around, and then they had another army, albeit a smaller one. Again, I don't know what we'll end up against, and it is a risk to stay and find out the hard way. Alright, so there we go. Good victory. Alright, well, that was definitely a solid victory for us. I don't know, I might be able to stay here and just take the replenishment, because I only lost 80 soldiers, and they lost 556.
They have no other word.
Depends on what the second army is. It's about half an army. Doesn't look like anything significant, though they might very well siege me again, and the big risk is if something is behind them, which may be the case. We do not have any regiments for now and available yet.
Warden of the
Let's throw our upgrades here. We're going to throw another one into Quartermaster. That's going
I
to
was born to
give me
wield
more
it.
cash. We can now also unlock Final Transmutation, which would really help us against mammoths, leaders, any other single entity monsters that we have to fight against. Hoping we can fight these guys straight back through the Turtle Gate. And I'm concerned about the Skaven popping up on us. They're probably going to be coming from Jingpo. So, as much as it's going to hurt me, I may have to get another army up and ready to roll, even if it's just a peasant army to help protect our settlements. We can't really afford to start losing a bunch of settlements back here. So let's get that done. What do we got here? Growth 10. Might throw some protection up on the terracotta graveyard instead, actually, just to make it a little harder for the Skaven to get through there. Let's go ahead and recruit a lord. Like I said, this is going to hurt from a money standpoint, but we're going to try it. We got a Yang. Both are Yang. One is going to give us a corruption and a control. I'll take the control. I like the dragon-blooded Shugingen. We've got a lore of Yang, and it's going to be the one that comes with Dragon's Breath, Wall of Wind and Fire, Constellation of the Dragon. All these things are pretty good. And then, of course, the other one has Talons of the Night and Ancestral Warriors, again, both of which are quite good. But, like, some of these other spells aren't quite as cool. Wind Blossom's kind of good. Talons isn't bad. All the Wind and Fire. I like Dragon's Breath. That's a really nice one. The Jade Shield can be a nice protector as well. Let's go for this. Let's do the Lore of Yang for now.
I shall restore harmony. Dragon-blooded
So you can already see that kind of picking away at our income. However, shouldn't be too bad. Let's go ahead and start by getting some long spears and bows. It's going to take some turns to get these stacked up, so let's let the process get underway. Alright, and then, like I said, that army... Oh my gosh. How did they end up getting away with so many units? These guys can't retreat. They're vulnerable. So we should hit them now.
You face a dragon of Cathay.
Kind of screwed me a little bit on those losses.
Their evil must be kept in check.
I don't think these guys can retreat again either. There is another army behind them. I just saw it. We're going to lose Jade Warriors if we do that. What I'll do is I'm going to save the game, and well, actually, I can't save the game because it's on Legendary. So what I'll do is I'll fight this battle, fall back, and then in the turn, so I guess I'll just go ahead and record it since I'm going to be playing it anyway. We got these banners. One gives flaming attacks, which that'd be kind of cool to put on our crossbow unit, and we'll just throw this one for now on our peasant long spear because they probably need it the most. It says we're going to lose units here. Again, I don't get this, and I also don't understand how so many of their units survived here after being completely mauled in that first battle, so this is a little bit frustrating. Alright, you all should get the idea of what I'm going to do here. I'm going to make it really difficult for the enemy to outflank me. Let my rockets open. Oh boy, that's not good. I'm being run down immediately by those horse masters. I'm going to start falling back. It's going to be another 14 seconds before I can transform Miao Ying, so I should heal here in the meantime. Yeah, okay, that's good. Our gunners will fire, but unfortunately we're going to take some damage here that I don't want to with the balloon. Got 2 units coming straight towards us. I'm going to head back here as quick as I can. I can now transform, so I can get those units off my balloon now. And I'm almost within cover my missile lines. I'm gonna push forward here for a second. Let's get those gunners off me comfortably. Guys in defensive. Let's take our second group out of formation attack because it doesn't work well. Okay, we push these guys back. That's plenty. They're gonna throw some javelins at me now that I've run away, but we'll just dodge those. Dragon's surprisingly nimble. My balloon is now back within missile coverage range. And we're going to quickly show the AI why it cannot predict an auto-resolve again. Alright, those horsemen are... The AI is working those horsemen rather competently. It's good to see. But it's not going to work. And here comes the hurt right here, folks. Here comes the hurt.
Jade Warriors! It pleases the dragon!
We've mowed down all their horse units. Excellent opener. I'm gonna come over here and put an end to these Norscan Warhounds. And my balloon is coming around and should be opening fire here at any moment. I can use my sorcerer to help out over here as well. Yep, the enemy infantry line is going to be absolutely savaged by my missiles. There we go. Alright, and we stopped the Warhounds. Alright, some of those units are getting through to my archers, so we want to fall back just a little. Go ahead and target here. And we took out the Warhounds, so let's come around and take these guys out. Likely to cause just about as much friendly damage as I am damage to the bad guys here. There we go. Step away out of that. Yep, so my unit came up into there a little. Alright, good. So another solid victory. These guys pushed back for a second time. And that should do it. Alright, so another excellent kill ratio. We can replenish our troops just a hair. And both of those armies now totally gone. But check this out. Village the Curseling is right behind them. And he does have a couple of pretty superior units, some spawn. This army would be a mess to fight right now. We do not want to fight that yet. So I am going to fall back past Pome, which has no real defense at the moment. But I also have to stay outside the range of Village. I don't know how far he can come through that gate. Doesn't look like very far, but at the same time, like we cannot afford to get caught here. I don't think we can get caught at Pome, actually. I'm going to go ahead and garrison the city, because we'll replenish a little bit faster there, and hopefully that would prepare us, though we'll need to keep an eye on Village, as it is a concern. Let's throw our last point Quartermaster. That's going to help us with the cost of that peasant army we're raising. We're going to put another skill point into Final Transmutation. That'll become very handy when fighting against stuff like Village, and he does have a hero in that army as well. Let's go check our equipment, and then I'm going to be done with this episode. Battle reinforcement time minus 40%. Staff of Wings, so augment of the winds. Should probably put that on our alchemist. Your spike. We'll throw that on there too, and that has everything equipped. Be some ancillaries though. Tea master. Oh, whoops. Pretty equipped as well. All right. So, that's it, folks. I'll see you on the next episode. HeirofCarthage, signing out.